Hi everyone, and welcome back to Economic Street. It's Ola
and your boy Nicholas
in his clown of a jersey.
Let's go Cowboys.
Life. And as always, we're the show that brings the city to the street, helping you understand your finances so that you can then make decisions to better yourself financially. So today we're joined by a very special guest, Latifat. Yeah? She's also economics grad like ourselves, and she's also an accountant, so you know she's good people's. And we've got quite a good lineup for you today in terms of the agenda. We're going to just jump right into it. So grab a coffee, sit back, relax, and join us. Right, first topic of the day, credit cards. Now, credit card companies have been doing something a little bit sneaky, haven't they? Yeah, they've been putting up people's credit card limits without them knowing. But what does that actually mean? First of all, let's start with that.
So basically, they're putting up people's credit limits without them knowing. So for me, and as an example, they put up my credit limit to, well, it was at 5,000, then they put it up to 6,000 without actually notifying me formally. So usually from the credit card company, I would get a lot of marketing emails, a lot of marketing post through the mail as well, and this is basically how they notified me that I was getting this increase. But unless I went back and said I didn't want this increase, they would have just increased it automatically, and that's exactly what they done. So they increased it from 5k, which it was, and then they increased it to 6k without having my full consent.
Okay, so I mean, I'm a bit confused because why is this necessarily a bad thing? Am I missing the point? Because it's someone's offering me more money.
Let's break it down. So, from a perspective of if you're already in debt, so everyone, a large amount of the UK are heavily indebted and are using credit cards to buy even just basic necessities. So, if you're not a person that's prudent, and now they've increased your credit limit, some people see this as more money, worse splurge, more money, which then leads you to being in debt even more. Because if you now got an extra £1,000 to spend, people go out and max it out again. So that then leads to paying more monthly payments, higher interest rates. So then you're basically getting further into that debt cycle. So unless you're prudent, it's not necessarily a good thing of them increasing your credit limit.
Right, okay. I'm starting to get the picture.
Yeah, and even if you're a prudent person, so for example, me, I'm very prudent and I've planned my finances for the next 5 years. And if you're going through like a process, I don't know, where you need to have your credit increased at a certain specific point in time, that's going to hinder you, because what happens is they increase your credit limit and then you can't have, from your plans, you can't then go and decide that you want to increase this limit further, because you then have to wait another 6 months for them to be able to increase it. So, for example, if they've increased my credit limit in June, for example, but I needed that credit to actually be increased by a larger amount in, I don't know, July or September, I can't then go ahead with that plan because they've already gone and increased my limit. So I have to wait a further 6 months for it to be increased.
Right, okay. So this can affect you if, for example, you want to do home improvement, or you want to, I don't know, something else that you budgeted for. Yeah. Okay, so just to get a better idea, I've got a credit card now of, let's say, £5,000. I'm thinking maybe in 6 months or in 2 months' time, I'm going to ask them to put it up to £8,000 because I want to do something with that money. But they've kind of gone around behind my back, put it to 6,000 without me knowing. And this basically stops me from asking for $8,000 because there's a time period where you have to wait.
Yeah,
because they'll credit score you again.
I see.
So then you got to go for an application today. So even though you've already got a credit card with them, they do another credit check to then see if they will approve you with the extra amount.
Right. Okay. So I mean, how do you solve this problem then? Because
the thing is, it's key. It's not illegal because they are technically notifying you when they send you a letter.
Sounds like PPI then.
No, because they are notified, because the thing is, I think what's wrong is that they put, if they don't hear back from you, they automatically increase it. Where you think it should be the opposite. If they haven't heard back from you, They should leave it as it is. Yeah. But as you were saying, I think because they send you lots of marketing stuff, people then think, oh, it's another marketing letter, or it's in your pile of envelopes. You don't pay attention to it. Yeah. So that's how they kind of get around it. But I think the opposite would be better. They should say have it where if you don't reply back to them, your limit stays as it is, rather than if they don't hear back from you, they increase it automatically. Because technically, they're not doing it behind your back because they are notifying you, but it's just the way they're notifying you and how they're going about it.
Okay, so moving on from that, they've done it now. What can I tell them to do to fix the problem, or there's nothing I can?
No, you can then tell them to decrease it though.
Okay.
But then again, if in the future you want to increase it, you then have to go through being credit checked again.
Oh, so can they actually decrease your credit limit once you've...
Yeah, you can decrease it at any time, but it's the fact that if once you decrease it though, to increase it again, just know you're gonna get credit checked. So it's ironic. So ironically, they could increase it, say in June, to say 6,000 for example, and then you don't want that. So you ring them and say, no, I want it back at £5,000. But then when you come to January to increase it to say 6,000 again, they technically could credit check you and then reject you. Although you already 6 months ago had it, depending on what the credit score is.
I see.
You can be declined again.
Cool.
So the thing is with me, what I did was I just called them and I said, you need to stop sending me marketing emails. And if you want to increase my credit score, you want to increase my credit limit, you need to call me and, not just...
communicate it better.
Not just, send me post or email me, because that's, how I was getting marketing. I couldn't decipher which one was... which one was more important than another. So I just told them, stop sending me marketing emails, and if anything's going to impact on my account directly, you need to contact me
by phone. That's a good idea. So that's the key takeaway for people. Make sure that if it's important information, your bank or your credit company is communicating with you in a way that will make you pick it up. Okay. Moving on from that, there's a side point which I read in an article whereby they were talking about a lot of young people are actually spending essentials or buying essential things on credit cards. So I think like 25 to 34-year-olds, about 1 in 5 of them were doing this within like every 6 months, or in the space of 6 months, 1 in 5 people were relying on credit cards to get by. Now, we know millennials are the ones that have been shafted the most since the recession. With the first generation being worse off than our parents.
Yep, we are.
So is there a way around this, or are we just going to keep seeing a situation that keeps deteriorating as we...
This is something we've even discussed on some of our previous videos around this topic. It's something that, unfortunately, it's about the individual trying to gain control of their finance. That's the only way of getting around that. And then the only real ways of doing that really is by cutting your costs and budgeting accordingly, or, which is tough to do in this current is also wages. As we're seeing as wage growth has been stagnant. Because if you get a pay rise, so wage growth at the moment is growing slowly.
So wages are not going up?
They're not going up.
Okay.
And then when you factor in, so if you've got more debt but your wages are not going up, your actual disposable income is shrinking. So
the disposable part being what's left over after you pay off.
So once you get paid, you paid your major outgoings, so rent, mortgage, etc. What's left over to spend, so that's reducing. If the fact that your credit card bills are going up, but your wages are not going up by the same amount. So if you can possibly do it, it would be to get pay rise, but I said that's quite difficult. So the best solution would be to try and reduce your costs and budget accordingly to try and reduce what you're spending on your credit card.
Okay, so give me a practical example of that. Like, how would I go about reducing my cost?
Budgeting every single month. I think people get into a habit where they think, okay, I have budgeted, I've made this budget, but they're not updating it. So for me, I always say that in each and every new month, I need a new budget. So you can use like last month's budget as a template, but you know that every month is different. And if you have any major outgoings, then you need to cut. You need to reflect that in your budget, and you need to cut what you might normally spend in that month. And then another thing is as well is the whole spending on your credit card is not necessarily a bad thing. So for me, what I used to do was spend like the fixed cost that I had, like travel, for example, my Oyster card payments.
So these are fixed costs because they
happen every month, and
right?
I know that these are costs that are going to be happening each and every month.
Okay.
So I would use that on my credit card and pay that before the month ends, and then at the start of a new month, again, pay for my next new month's travel costs. So I think if you are going to spend on your credit card, you have to be smart about it and not just spend on disposable things like clothes and things that don't really matter. If you're spending using your pumping shots at the club, like, it doesn't make any sense. So you just if you're going to use your credit card, there's nothing wrong with it, but I think people have to be smart and be timely with it as well.
That's very true, but I think what's key, I think the worrying thing is that, as you said, in the article, people are spending it on what you call essentials. So it's not actually, as you said, the clothing or the champagne. It's actual essentials, food, travel. So it's a catch-22. It's something that it's a hard situation to deal with, if we're being honest. As I said, the two main ways are getting a pay rise, so then you can adjust accordingly, or cutting costs and budgeting. But because the fact that it's essential goods in the first place, you have to make that difficult decision and really narrow what is essential. I know it's a difficult decision, but that's something that you'd have to look into yourself and see is this really essential? It's a sad state of affairs, but that's just the reality of it.
I always say as well, because we're millennials, like we're that generation. If we don't like something that we're getting, switch.
We move on.
Move on, fam. Yeah. Like, just we can't be lazy about this. So for me, I always say, like, basics. Always, like, every year, switch like your insurance.
True.
Try and get a cheaper deal. Your phone bill, like your phone provider, your TV broadband provider, all of them switch. Use a cheaper car if you have to. Just try and cut back. TV. We've got internet now. Sky package.
I ain't promoting anything. I ain't saying anything.
This guy is different.
But you know what, as well, I think it's important talking about switching your job and your wage. If you're not happy with the wage that you're getting, I think a lot of people our age and younger, they're really scared to negotiate their wage and ask for a pay rise.
It's a scary topic.
It's a scary topic, but what's more scary is going into debt. And I always say that the only answer you can get is no. And if you get a no, okay. But what about if it's a yes? And if you don't ask, you don't get. So
that's true.
You need to be very proactive when it comes to getting that wage that you want, because nobody else is going to get it for you. That's your responsibility. So if you're not happy with your wage, then ask for a pay rise and don't be scared to negotiate what you're currently getting paid.
Wow.